everyone, this is Marian Barcasio, and for today's video we are going to talk about linguistics. So let's begin. Linguistics simply is the study of languages, but in a scientific way. Since it is the scientific study of language, there are of course numerous schools of thought related to it. The following are the most well-known linguistic schools of thought. Number 1 is historicism, also called diachronic linguistic. Historical linguistic is the branch of linguistics concerned with the study of phonological, grammatical, and semantic changes, the reconstruction of methods by which genetic relationships among languages can be demonstrated. The second most well-known school of thought is functionalism. This first school of thought focuses on how language is actually used in everyday life. The theories of functionalism focus on phonological, semantic, syntactic, as well as the pragmatic functions of language. It emphasized the importance of social context, usage, and the communicative functions of the grammar, phonology, orthography, and more of a language. The third most well-known school of thought is structuralism. It is based on the work of Ferdinand de Saussure of Switzerland. It is an approach to linguistics that focuses on the idea that languages is a fixed system made up of many different units that connect with each other. The fourth most well-known school of thought is generativism. The work of Noam Chomsky became the basis for the generativism approach to linguistics, originally a way to explain how humans acquire language in the first place. Soon, it came to be used to explain the different phenomena that occur in all natural languages. The generative theory of language suggests that language is made up of certain rules that apply to all humans and all languages. It led to the theory of universal grammar that all humans are capable of learning grammar. The fifth and the last most well-known school of thought is cognitivism. It is the last linguistic school of thought that emerged in 1950s as a reaction to generativism. In basic terms, cognitivism says that language emerges from human cognitive processes. It is a bit similar to functionalism. The main focus of cognitivism is how language is based on meaning that the mind creates. Now let's go to the major branches of linguistics. The first one is applied linguistics. It is a branch of linguistics that deals with the practical application of the principles of the general linguistics. It causes improvement in the teaching of second language. It stresses mainly upon the need to contrast between the mother tongue and the second language. This contrast can be effectively analyzed in the following fields. The sound system. Languages spoken over contiguous areas are more similar than those which are spoken over the far-flung areas of the world. Urdu and Persian are similar, while Urdu and English have no common accent. The second one is a structural pattern. Urdu has quite different structural system than English. In Urdu, verb is placed at the end, whereas English, it comes next the subject. The third is the word pattern. The words borrowed from English should be taught with correct pronunciation by contrast. The fourth is the writing system. Writing in Urdu goes from right to left and from left to right in English. The fifth is the cultural system. There are modes of expression which are peculiar to each language. They are the results of social, cultural, political, and geographical factors. These modes of expression are difficult to translate. A plural verb is used in Urdu to show respect to a person, but there is no such rule in English. Sixth is the situation. It is a factor that gives meaning and significance to the words. If we say go without pointing to any place to go, the sentence may have any meaning. If we refer to a particular place, we give the exact situation, which adds to the meaning of the sentence. Reference to a specific situation gives the true shade of meaning of a word. The modern linguists do not believe in the teaching of formal grammar. They assert that the grammarian arbitrarily laid down the rule and require the language to conform to them. Language should be free of all such shackles and should follow the usage. There is no need for it to conform to fixed rules of grammar. The modern linguists, in fact, advocate the inductive teaching of grammar. The second major branches of linguistics is social linguistics. It studies language in relation to society. It deals with the relationship between language and society. Some major concepts of social linguistics are language variation. Social linguistics may usefully be defined as the study of variation in language within speech communities. It investigates the correlation between linguistic variables and social variables. Linguistic variables include phonological, lexical, and grammatical variables. Social variables include gender, age, status, and ethnicity. The second is the language varieties. Language with its different varieties such as code, register, dialect, idiolect, sociolect, and etc. is the subject matter of social linguistics. Language varies in geographical and social space. It also studies how language differ between groups separated by certain social variables such as class, ethnicity, religion, nationality, status, gender, age, and level of education. The third is the speech community. It is a concept of social linguistics that describes a distinct group of people who use language in a unique and mutually accepted ways among themselves. Speech communities can be members of a profession with a specialized jargon or developed twang. The fourth is the communicative competence. The speaker has the ability to use language in a way that is appropriate in a given situation. A speaker who is communicatively competent in more than one language. The fifth is community of practice. It allows social linguistics to examine the relationship between socialization, competence, and identity. Third major branches of linguistics is psycholinguistics, an important branch of linguistics which studies the interconnection of language and mind, focusing mainly on how language is learned, stored, and occasionally lost. Now let's go to the scope of psycholinguistics that was categorized into three major scopes by Clark and Clark. Number one is comprehension. Comprehending language involves a variety of capacities, skills, processes, knowledge, and disposition that are used to derive meaning from spoken, written, and sign language. Number two is production. How humans produce the language. It explains the mental process to produce the language to be spoken. It occurs because there is a stimulus that comes to our brain as a message. There, the information is processed to produce a response. Number three is language acquisition. How humans learn to comprehend and produce language. It was acquired naturally by humans who have brain and speech organs. It occurs gradually through a process. We are now in the areas of psycholinguistics. Number one is neurolinguistics, the study of language and brains. The domain of neurology is concerned with impairment of language due to brain lesion, tumors, injuries, or stroke. It also has an observational domain, which is the concern of linguists. Second is language pathology. The breakdown of language has been studied intensively from at least two main angles. First is that of medicines, where attempts are made to help patients regain at least partially the ability to use language normally. Second is formed by patients who have had a tumor in the brain, which impair their speech pressing on either of the speech area. The last major branches of linguistics is computational linguistics, or CL, is a discipline between linguistics and computer science, which is concerned with the computational aspect of human language faculty. It belongs to the cognitive science and overlaps with the field of artificial intelligence, a branch of computer science aiming at computational models of human cognition. It is the scientific and engineering discipline concerned with understanding written and spoken language from a computational in bulk or in a dialogue setting. Types of computational linguistics. Number one is theoretical computational linguistics that takes up issues in theoretical linguistics and cognitive science. It develops formal models and implements them as computer programming, and these programs constitute the basis for the evolution and further development of theories. It's applied computational linguistics, focus on the practical outcome of modeling human language use. The methods, techniques, tools, and application in this area are often subsumed under the term language engineering or human language technology. The goals of computational linguistics. The theoretical goals. The formulation of grammatical and semantic frameworks for characterizing languages in ways enabling computational tractable implementation of syntactic and semantic analysis. Second is practical goals applications. Efficient text retrieval some desired topic, effective machine translation, question answering, and test summarization, and etc. The main aspect of computational linguistics. Number one is friendly software for communication. Natural language interfaces enable the user to communicate with a computer in French, English, German, and another human language. Number two is the role of machines in communication. It is the original aims of applied computational linguistics has always been fully automatic translation between human languages. The third is language as fabric of the web. The whole world of multimedia information can only be structured, indexed, and navigated through language. The fourth is ambitious visions in realistic application. Our understanding during the intricate mechanisms of human language processing keeps growing. Modeling such mechanisms on a computer also help us to discover and formally describe hidden properties of human language. The fifth and the last is combination of discipline. The special attraction of the discipline is the combination of expertise from the humanities, natural and behavioral sciences, and engineering. Now we are going to the areas of study or the subject matter of computational linguistics. The first one is computational complexity of natural language largely modeled on automatic theory with the application of context-sensitive grammar and linearly bounded Turing mechanism. Second is computational semantic comprises defining suitable logics for linguistic meaning representation, automatically constructing them and reasoning with them. Lastly is computer-aided corpus linguistics, which has been used since 1970s as a way to make detailed advances in the field of discourse analysis and etc.